But I want to start with the weekend. There are some very exciting young people on the weekend that I want to introduce to you. The first one is a young woman who's really amazing. I've known her for a number of years now. We have a few common friends. And we always talk about each other to our friends. You know how that thing happens all the time? And we talk about the same thing, and we're excited about the same things. We're excited about culture, we're excited about trends, we're excited about music, we're excited about, more than anything, possibility. The things we can do and the things we can be. So we now have an opportunity to kind of drive this conversation. And I want to introduce you to my young lady, Jenny Chris Williams. We're very excited, welcome. And then on Saturdays, we used to have a thing called the Top 40. Now for many years, we've been having arguments at Kaya. Top 40. Okay, so what is that again? Like, okay, 40 songs, okay. What about them, you know? Like, why? Are we even a chart show? Like, are we a chart station? Like, what? Okay, fine, it was here, let's do it, we'll do it. And when my old friend decided to join us, and we started to hang out again, and he said, "Yeah, let me park on this chart thing, just see what's happening." And I was really excited to have him. I actually didn't believe that Pro would join us, because I've known Proverb now 13 years, yeah? If not longer. Actually longer, I lie. How old are you, nigga? We know each other from the YFM days. The hip hop scene you see today, right? These are the original boys that were brave enough to step up on those mics, and when it was unpopular to rap, so the bomb rapper, when it was a thing yako states, it's not a local thing. These were brave boys who said, but we also have our version of, we have different stories that we want to tell. So what if we want to tell it through this mode? And you guys have made that successful. But to show how Kaya has evolved, I mean, to have you, on this brand now gives you an idea of, just how well the people inside Kaya understand what they need to be doing at a particular time. So not only is he going to be continuing on his show, which is not going to be a chart show, thank God, we will be able to, get a little bit more of what he has to offer in the space. But the one thing I'm excited about is another show that he'll be picking up, which I'll talk to in just a second, because I'm trying to get some sequence happening in my head. And that for me is one of the most exciting things, which will tie in nicely with the Saturday slot. And then we have a new addition, and it's called the Sound Supreme. Now, I don't know anyone who's grown up in any place in South Africa, anywhere in any township, because half my life I was there, where the sound system was not one of the most important items in the house, right? But most importantly, what came out of the speaker was even more important. And there's a generation of guys who understand music in a totally different way. The dynamic they add to the sound. When guys do stuff and you're thinking, it's almost like listening to a song and you're like, God, I feel like the song was made for me. This trio has curated some of the best showcases this town has ever seen. We're talking about Just Temba, Ken Zero, or Kenny, and Muzi. And this is Sound Supreme, and that's going to be on the Saturday afternoon on the station. And then inside of Sound Supreme is another duo. So this is a game of trios and duos. Yeah? So when this duo joined Kaya, I swear they were 12, and this is real. And I have pictures to prove it. Yeah. But what I liked about these guys was they always had, a mission. You can always tell they had a purpose. So that's Sound Supreme. So we're very excited about Sound Supreme. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. Monday to Thursday. And yes, I said Monday to Thursday. Okay? Monday to Thursday. Bob. Obrigado. Muchas gracias. It was real, Don. And thank you. Thank you for all the work that you've put in. And I want to say, as the Kaya, or as the Steve Biko of Kaya walks out, I want to welcome the Donald Woods in. David O'Sullivan. Here's what's even more exciting about this new show. And so one is that I talked about we are topical now. And the second thing is perspective. There's nothing that's more important than the opportunity of a different perspective, right? And we get to do that. And I mean, I'm if I have to be selfish about this, I'm very grateful that within my life at Kaya, I'm able to say I've seen different perspectives, of the country. If you think about it, everything is always, and I'm gonna, stay on this race thing for 5 seconds if you let me. So everything in this country has always been, so when you think about trends or movements, there's always been what was only black moving to what was only white, right? And yet, so there's no integration, if you like. So we're not integrating. Integration is a two-way movement, okay? In conversation, in physical movement, in all those different things. And there's never been an opportunity anywhere, as far as I know, in this country, where you have a canvas that allows us a proper opportunity to have a proper integrated thinking in that space. Listen, we've gone through oh God, what are we going to do with that listener and these listeners? But the listeners that truly understand BC are staying because they get it, because they understand what we're doing. And for us, that's what's exciting, is the opportunity to drive that, to do exactly that. And you're the right guy for that. You are absolutely the right man to do that. And we happy to have you on board, so welcome. There's a guy called T-Boz. Yeah, you guys know him. Best T. So we decided, if you really, really, really want to see riots, if you think those marches that happened in Joburg were big, move T-Boz and you'll see how big the marches can get. No, but seriously, I mean, T-Boz has been on the station for 10 years, and these are some of the milestones that we're celebrating. And, in honor of his 10th year on Kaya, we're also excited that, he's still carrying on with us, still as relevant as he was since day one, moving with the times, really exciting. So, that show stays as it is. We're also paying tribute to Georgie. Georgie has been with the station for 20 years. And Georgie will be hanging his headphones at Kaya this year. And again, in absentia, I wanted for Georgie to be here so we can thank him personally for 20 awesome years that he's shared with the station. He is one of the most hardworking, one of the most humblest people you've ever met. Generally a great guy. Like, no one comes close, seriously. Not even Bob, no one, none of you come close to, just how great that guy is. Great spirit, and always a good guy. So, we bid him farewell as well this year. But we introduce in his space a young lady who I've known for quite a while. And I've loved how she's grown as well. And there's something interesting about a thought we had, and I like how you guys set as well. just like across from each other. But Bridget will be taking over 12 to 3 on the station, and she'll be bringing down, all of the stuff that she's, doing in the evening, all the arts, all the stuff and books, all the literature stuff, and so forth and so forth. Wonder why you said across each other, but Bridget will officially take over 12 to 3 from July. Moji is going to be moving to a different time slot. He's been on the afternoon drive for 5 years as well, but been on the station about 7 years. And, I think from a infectious laughter point of view, my man did his thing. But also just in terms of creating a very light-hearted, afternoon, after heavy conversations and, all these types of things. It's always great to, kind of let your hair down a bit if you have any, and listen to Moji. But just going back to where we're going and how we need to get there, we decided to revive, and I spoke about a breakfast show back in the day that was happening when Bob was, remember that story? I think it was too early to ask them to come to work, like from a waking up perspective. That was one. But I think that show was also way ahead of its time. And I actually really wish we got it together and kept it. Okay, this means we would not have Bob, but the reason I say that is because, in fact, that whole mission that we started with Bob actually started, with Dumiso, Mapolova, Hloni Pepe, Mapolova and Khomutso. And the story of how they started is really funny because Khomutso actually came to see me about a nighttime show that she wanted to do. So I'm sitting with her, we're still in Newtown, so I'm sitting with her, I'm looking at this girl, I'm thinking, nighttime? Well, now you've got spunk, man. What do you want to be at night? There's things about you that you have, And she says, no, but remember, I'm with Ndumiso, and she couldn't let go of this Ndumiso guy. This is my guy. You're either taking both of us or you're not taking any of us. So I'm like, okay, what, who's Ndumiso? Okay, do you have budget? Okay. I'm glad we did. Because we would not have been introduced to the genius that you guys were, but the style within which you carried what still remains the mission at hand to this day, and the fact that we are able to regroup and do this thing again is really exciting. So welcome back. Yeah. And then you'll meet our fairly new business show, which is presented by Gugu. She's just amazing. I mean, she's just created a different style of business, and business in the way that we want to hear it as Afropolitans. Really incredible, great person, a lady of note, and really amazing when I just look at the many different types of people that are coming into Kaya right now. It's really exciting. It's it's a renewal of sorts. I feel like I need to go for like a style change myself and just be new or something, just to complement what's coming through. So really excited about that. John Perlman, we're also celebrating a milestone with John. John is 10 years at Kaya this year, and again, we're very excited that he's still in it. He still wants it. He's still hungry. He still loves it, and he's still carrying on with us, and that's really awesome. Mapaseka, who also is on the station, in fact, celebrated 15th anniversary with Tivo, so when you see them, give them a hug and a kiss somewhere. So also that stays. But in a nutshell, those are all the changes that are coming. And these shows are happening from Monday to Thursday, as I said. And on a Thursday, when the day ends, all of us will be looking forward to a great weekend. The idea of Fridays is we're going to create a Kaya that becomes a go-to space, right? So we essentially going to kill productivity in Gauteng on a Friday because people are going to drive to work and then kind of veer off and come hang out at Kaya. That's what it's going to be. We have unplugged sessions all day. We have, great sports programming lined up, lots of music, lots of DJs, lots of performances, like all kinds of stuff, that are going to be happening. The breakfast show is essentially going to be this young man over here, Skumbi. And Skumbi over here will be joined by Mapalova on the Fridays in the mornings. Now, so I had the opportunity of sitting down with both of them to try and explain the thinking, right? I didn't need to do much. I just sat there, and they were going. And then on the next table was Felicia Babuza Sattel and a couple of her friends. And they came over and I just stood back and then it just went. That's how we briefed the show. That was the brief. So it was all natural and very organic, and I'm very excited about this particular show. It will be different, and we've taken a few risks, but these are well worth it risks. Because every person that's brought into the space was thought through properly, but also has something to say, and that's important. For us, it's important when you have people that have something to say, something to share, and be a part of. And then between 9 and 12, and yes, we did touch T-Rose this time. We thought one of the lousy, I'll use the word lousy things about broadcasting, right, is it's a very closed medium, so it's for us, right? It's David, that's your slot, everyone's got their slot, and that's it, until whatever happens, but still it becomes very close. But you never have a show where random South Africans with opinions can come and hang out on a Friday and just play their music, share their thoughts, and just basically be. So think about all the most interesting people that you would have interviewed somewhere in your life, people you would have said, I would have wanted to hear what this person, or I like how they think, and I would have wanted for a lot more people to hear them. Those types of things. This will be an opportunity for us to bring out different people, different voices. We tried it in the festive season when T-Rose was away, and it's something that other people have done, but we want to do it as a permanent feature. So the whole time, it's just different people, different voices. And between 12 and 3, this is where the fun begins with the unplugs, the music, the wine, the chilling, the so-and-so went to lunch and never came back. And my man over here will be conducting that choir, Mr. Proverb. So thank you, sir, for that. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right. And then somehow, for the rest of the day, because you've got all these bands and all these DJs, somehow things are just going to be like that until we all go home at some point. Why not? Lastly, just want to, again, pay tribute to all the guys who've been at Kaya all those years. Bob, thank you very much. John Pillman in absentia, 10 years, many years, great. Georgie, 20, wonderful. We have a couple of other people in the building who've done 20 years. Malusi, Nikki B is also in her 20th year this year. So really wonderful. Guys, on behalf of Kaya, welcome. Welcome to the next chapter. This is going to be a hell of a ride. We're very excited to have you. And it's time to change and have a fantastic, now we do this. Thank you, and please enjoy yourselves. Can we have champers, please? This is an occasion. Shaza.